Okay, everyone, welcome. I am going to do a 10-minute presentation on functional disorders and functional neurological disorders, especially. If you feel that I'm going too fast, slow down the recording on YouTube, make it comfortable for you, but I will try to keep it to this 10 minutes because life is very busy. And this is actually one of the factors preventing us from healing sometimes. Let me start with my disclosures because remember, I have an educational company. I am proposing integrative methods of healing FND. I have written books and research articles. I am a patient advocate. So a lot of the things that I do here, even that I am a physician, I'm sharing the patient's voice, and that may feel strange for some healthcare and wellness professionals because I'm representing both sides. And I also am a facilitator of natural psychedelic experiences, and I am doing research on the benefits of those plants for functional illnesses. So lots of things that I do. So consider that when you're watching this lecture, so use this material only for educational and informational purposes. And this data still is a work in progress and must be updated with the data from the Functional Neurological Disorders Society conference that happened about a month ago. You can find more information in this scientific article. You can share this also with your healthcare wellness provider or anyone who would like to know more about FND and functional disorders. I am going to cover 5 topics. What is FND? What are the risk factors? Why does it happen? What are the mechanisms that cause the disease? What are some of the things to keep in mind in terms of treatment? What do we do after we watch this lecture? So real simple. What is FND? The name says it, functional neurological disorders. So is a disorder is a problem with the functioning of the nervous system in the presence of testing that do not show any problem in the anatomy, in the organs, to be suggesting another disease. This is a problem in the functioning. The nervous system is an electrical organ that works with electricity and electrical impulses. This condition has been around for almost 4,000 years. The earliest description was 1900 years before Christ. The affects more commonly women, and the truth, and again, this is outdated information from the article that I published last year, is happening more common in children. It's happening more after COVID-19, after TikTok and social media. Now migraine and many other conditions are considered functional. So overall, it is increasing. It is increasing. Who can get this condition more often? So what conditions can make the nervous system malfunction? Who can get nervous system malfunctioning? Anyone who has gone through events, being it mental, physical, emotional, environmental, witnessing, events that are difficult, that put a strain in the electrical energy of the nervous system, mind-body connections. So people with previous problems, injuries, traumas, all sorts of stressors and problems, all sorts. I like this image because it represents anesthesia, surgeries, difficult in relationships, maltreatment, witnessing things, others being ill, having other chronic problems, changing jobs, stressors, changing housing. Wow, almost anyone goes through these things. So how does it happen that it's an acquired disorder? We acquire it from things that happen in the environment, and that eventually, ultimately, over time, influences the functioning of the nervous system. So what are these mechanisms that produce the dysfunctioning in the nervous system? And so I talk about this in all the educational opportunities I have, being it research or being it self-funded and self-paid. So many factors in the environment, many social factors. And these factors, when these events, situations, circumstances influence your organism, they turn into electrical energy that starts causing certain disruptions in the four main networks that compose the mind-body complex. The mind, the neocortex, the thoughts, the interpretation, the attention, the language, everything intellectual specific to humans, these neocortical intellectual minds functions. Emotional network also can get affected. The emotional network called the limbic system. Therefore, lots of emotional manifestations too. This is a type of energy. The automatic nervous system that runs automatic functions like heart beating, breathing, the urine emptying through the bladder, the sweating, the saliva, and also another compartment that is the compartment that runs the voluntary somatic sensory motor actions of the physical body, the flesh, the voluntary things that we do and we feel. Nervous system is compacted and lots of neurons and trillions. I don't know how many, but all these compacted. All the energy there that goes to control the entire body, and then it controls literally the entire body through all these nerves. The sympathetic, the parasympathetic nervous system, the somatic nerves, the different that go to the end organs, and the afferent that receive the information. So many cool terms, but it controls everything. Without a nervous system, a person is diagnosed dead. So imagine it can have all sorts of symptoms and presentations. Facial weakness, numbness, tingling, pain, twitching, tremors, memory problems, urinating, gastrointestinal. Patients go to all the types of doctors, and now many conditions are considered functional, like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, etc. You're going to have this in your screen for later study. So when I published this article less than a year ago, I said, many physicians evaluate all these symptoms, and many physicians get involved in the treatment, in helping the patient with functional disorders. But then I thought, okay, hold on. Not only physicians, and I forgot to put here the psychiatrists, the psychologists, the physical therapists, the occupational therapists, the massage therapists. These are not health professionals. These are wellness professionals. For example, an acupuncturist, a speech therapist, all sorts of healthcare wellness professional, allied health professionals. So many illnesses, many symptoms that are increasing, being seen by many people who offer health care, wellness care. So what is the treatment? Because it's increasing and it can affect so many parts. Well, two main treatments are cognitive behavioral therapy that pays attention to many higher cortical functions and especially cognition. And then the physical, occupational, speech and language therapies who pay attention to the physical body. This is in the article. So I told you before there are four main networks affected. There is also the emotional limbic network, and there is also the autonomic nervous system, and also the sensory motor connections of the physical body. So cognitive behavioral therapy doesn't target all these networks and physical comprehensively, and physical therapy targets the physical body, the various parts. I'm going to take 2 or 3 more minutes. So you can read this in the research article or in this printout. If you want the slides, a PDF with the slides, send me an email and I'll send it to you. But it's still suboptimal outcomes. many of the things, other psychotherapeutic modalities have not been tested. There are no integrative models. There are no prevention strategies. There's no prevention. There are no good education, comprehensive, integrative self-assessments and self-management tools that have been described to help patients. So we're in bad shape from a scientific perspective, but what can we do now? Why are we here now? Huh? Because I'm an optimist, so I talk about the problems, but always bringing solutions on the other hand. So remember the 4 networks. This is something that we can do right now. Remembering this, I have learned about healthy functioning of the mind, neocortex, limbic, emotional systems, automatic processes, and my somatosensory voluntary activities of the physical body. These 4 networks, we can reduce it even more. We can reduce it to 3, mind, body, emotion. I have to learn about the healthy functioning of mind, body, and emotions. I have to learn how society affects and how I can possibly influence society so it serves me. So, education, a path forward. Many educational opportunities to learn about the healthy functioning of the human organisms. You can work on self-assessment, you can work on self-help, work on prevention, you can work on awareness. The options are endless because there is a void in care, there is a void in humanity's understanding about this, so you can flourish through acquiring knowledge, especially experiential knowledge. So I teach all this with pathophysiological basis. We learn the specific processes, and it's fun. It's real life experience. For example, are you aware of what you're feeling in your body right now? What are some of the automatic functions that you're noticing right now? As you change your attention, your cognitive mind, what do you perceive in your physical body? As you move, what do you perceive in your mind? What emotions are you feeling right now? So these are very simple day-to-day questions and many others that are going to teach us to assess the functioning of the interconnected networks and correct any energy through exercises of energy manipulation, which is focus on ancestral techniques of mindfulness combined with modern techniques of physiology and energy movement. So physics. Anyways, FND Hope International or USA or UK or the other countries that are or will be joining the movement have many research opportunities in collaboration with me and with other physicians, I believe as well. They have peer support groups for multiple subgroups of conditions for various age groups. And of course, my website also has a scholarship, research, collaboration opportunities, the paid programs, you name it, many things there. So these are some of the resources that you can use. If you have any questions, contact them or contact me. Don't feel lonely, don't feel uncomfortable. And if you do, if you're in a moment of your health journey that you're like, this is hard, or I'm feeling this or that, then use that energy that appears sometimes to take action that will take you to the next step in your healing and growth journey. It has been a pleasure to do this brief presentation for you, and I will see you next time, hopefully. Bye-bye now.